Morning, welcome to the video. So this is it, it's the final working week before Christmas. The plan today, or the plan for this week, is to finish on Friday. It should have actually been quite a relaxing week. If you remember, traditionally what I do is I don't mow on a Monday. So what that does is that means that when I'm not doing projects or particularly lawn care, I can then spread 4 days of mowing across 5 days. So that was the plan. However, there is something's come up that may take that relaxedness and make it a little bit more hectic. So what should have been basically my half a Tuesday done today has now turned into what the plan is to do half of that Tuesday plus half of the Wednesday as well. Just trying to create a gap further down the week because I'm not sure if I need that gap. But if I do need that gap, I will need it, and I don't know when I'll need it. Long story, but I'll explain as the week goes on. I've made the week a lot harder for myself, so if you may notice my hand, so I was chopping some firewood yesterday, chopped all the firewood, everything was good. I was now just picking it up and stacking it, and the axe was, I don't even know, I think it was just resting on the chopping block. And as I took a piece or whatever, it sort of moved and it just fell off. It only dropped about that far, but it dropped into the back of my hand, which meant I spent about 4 hours in A&E yesterday getting stitched back together and x-rays, etc, etc. But fortunately it's all fine. It hurts a bit, to be honest, but other than that it's absolutely fine, so hopefully it won't slow me down too much today. So yeah, there we go. It's a bit drizzly at the moment. I think it's supposed to be pretty overcast and gloomy all week. There is rain coming in on Wednesday, and it looks as though Wednesday afternoon, evening, as far as I can see at the moment, that might put a spanner in the works for some of the job, or this big job we've got on. So anyways, we'll just have to play it by ear each day. So, right, I'm going to crack on and get to the first house. As you know, if you've watched any of my videos in the past, I always like to play this game where I try and end the final day without any fuel in any of the tanks, or any fuel kicking around. It's not end of the world if I do have fuel kicking around, because it's not like it's going to sit there now till the a March, April time. The fuel will be used in some capacity in January, but certainly the plan would be to get all the fuel out of all of the machinery, ready for the sort of the winter's break, if you want to call it that. Right, see you at the job. Okay, so back lawn, all the leaves down, all the leaves pretty much tidied away. Okay, so that's first job, took about an hour, which is what I would expect. And then out the front, last time I was here 2 weeks ago, obviously there was leaves everywhere, so I filled the brown bin up and then filled up a sack of leaves, but left it by the bin. Obviously the bin's been emptied, so now I've put the sack of leaves into the bin, and then obviously that's ready to go next time the green waste arrives. We've got Leaf Island over there. The guys working across the way have just blown a load of leaves on there. Fortunately, there's no wind, otherwise it would have just carried it on over into this garden. And there you go. This property is done for the year. Depending on many things, my next scheduled visit will be in February. Okay, so I've done three other lawns actually. This is just a fortnightly for a very elderly client. It was covered in leaves. Currently, there's nowhere to put the leaves. They don't want to pay to take it away at this stage. So the bin is full when the bin's not being emptied for various reasons. So all I'm doing is I'm literally just putting them up in the corner. I mean, there's loads and loads and loads. There's not a great deal I can do about it other than just sort of make it tidy as best I can. I'll speak to the client's children and just find out what they want me to do with it. It may be just leave it, but you do what you can with the budget available to you, and it's not just a few leaves that you can sort of get rid of somewhere else. It's probably a good half day of bagging them, etc., and then, you know, half a day of bagged leaves costs to get rid of. So yeah, we will just do what we can. Okay, so you'll recognise this lawn. This is a traditional Wednesday lawn, but fortnightly. So my visit was just before the storm of 2 weeks ago, week and a half ago, something like that, I don't know. So lots of twigs down, really. I mean, obviously leaves, but more sort of like twigs than anything. So yeah, tidy up of that, and that will be the last visit here. So I was going to cut, but actually, because I'm going to have to rake up so many twigs, that's probably all I'll have time for. It's 1 o'clock now, so hopefully should be 2.5 hours, I reckon, here. So shouldn't be too much of an issue with the sunlight. So there we go. That's the back all done. Well, actually, the blower's over there. I need to pick that blower up. I'll just show you out the front quickly. Oh, Christmas lights are on. So there you go. Out the front, all tidied up with twigs. And I estimated now 2.5 hours to clear up. I think we're about 2 hours, 10-15 minutes. So pretty much there. Not enough time to run a mower around, definitely not. So you know, it is what it is. You react to what the situation is. In this on this occasion, it was just twigs and leaves that needed clearing up, and mowing would have been a nightmare. We just made more of a mess hacking that all down. So yeah, that is today's done. So what I'm going to do tomorrow, or what I'm going to do later now, go back to the container and get ready for tomorrow. So don't need the Time Master. Don't think I need the big blower. I will need the Hater 41, and I will need the sprayer. So and that's a knapsack sprayer. So yeah, ready for tomorrow. Gonna start late because it's my son's Christmas play, so probably won't be starting till about 11ish, probably. Cool. Right, see you tomorrow. What I managed was to get one photo, so here it is. So today should have been 2 lawns, 2 biggish lawns, although I got one of them done on Monday, if you remember, which leaves me with just 1 lawn today. Now the reason for that was because this bloody football pitch job, after they faffed around and delayed and then decided they did, the FA, once the FA guy had come in and said, oh yeah, basically everything I'd said was exactly right. They should proceed with everything that I'd suggested. So then I got the phone call in, was it November? Can't remember, saying, oh yeah, could you do all the weeds, spray all the weeds? Could you do the vertidraining? To which I said, no, I can't spray all the weeds. You've missed the boat. Sorry, you'll have to wait till next year for that one. There's no way I'm going to get enough dry days where it isn't windy and it isn't dewy and everything else. Dew's not too much of a problem, but it was just, you know, if it's really, really wet leaves, then it's not going to be as good as it could be. So yeah, so anyway, it's gone on, and every day we've scheduled in, it should have, you know, it's kind of been potential bad weather, this, that and the other, a few other reasons, it hasn't taken place, so it was supposed to go ahead today. So that's why I wanted to create this big window, so I could be there, see the guys come in, open up, let them in, show them a few things about the site, what to avoid, etc., etc. And then yeah, and then be able to pop back in at the end and lock up, etc., but also get some good footage as well. That was something I really wanted to do. So anyway, it's very blustery, it's very windy, it's very blustery at the moment. It's been raining, there's rain coming in. So what we didn't want to do was, one, vertidrain in the rain, but secondly, vertidrain and then have all the holes filled up with water. Obviously sometimes you can't help it, because who knows what the weather's going to do, but if you can see a forecast for it, then we will try and avoid it. And then also, once we've verti-drained, ideally what we want is a couple of days of the holes being open before the games are played on them, and games are scheduled for this weekend. So if we were to come in on Thursday or Friday, it wouldn't be ideal. However, after this weekend, we have a window between now and the 4th of January, so that actually would be perfect. It looks as though it may be Monday now. Now, if you remember my scheduling, I plan to finish on Friday and then have Monday as a bit of a backup day. It may mean that Monday is spent down with the verti-draining guys, but that's what that Monday was for. There has been potential talk of them doing it Christmas Eve as well, which it's not ideal from my point of view, but if it just gets it done, it just gets it done, and that's all I kind of care about at the moment. So at this time of year, as always, you're always reactive to the weather. So this morning when I went to get fuel, this tiny little weather band came through, which was just pure wind and crazy heavy rain. Didn't last for long, but I just used that opportunity to run some errands and stuff. So I've sort of switched the day around a little bit. I ended up doing the Wednesday job I was going to do, and then the smaller Thursday job. I wanted to do the bigger Thursday job, if that makes sense. So anyway, so this is a final cut. I shall show you. So that's last week's stripes, and this is this week's stripes. So there we go. Pretty good. A lot of dog burns on this lawn, but what can you do? So there you go. That is another lawn wrapped up for winter. A little job. I'll probably do it. What I will do, all the leaves that are now down the bottom, I'm going to collect all them, get rid of those in January, and probably do this patio as well, because when it rains, it is awfully slippy. So yeah, so that's that. Right, I'm off to the container to get ready for tomorrow. I still need all my equipment, so there's no emptying of any fuel or anything at this point. So yeah, right, see you tomorrow. Having a haircut tonight. Should look a bit smarter. Festive cut. Morning. So it's Thursday today. So just 2 gardens. Don't really know what's going on with the second one at the moment. That's the one with the building works being done. So I'll just show you this one. Basically, it's get this lawn all striped up. Just been trimming this bank that I kind of do maybe once a month. A few leaves, a few debris around, a bit out the front, etc, etc. Great view this morning. It's cold, it's about 3 degrees, very wet during the night. If you remember last week I did this. This half of the garden, so that's already had its cut. So as I say, I'm going to do this bit out on the road, get it all trimmed up, get it cut, leaves blown. Tennis court's got a lot of twigs down from, I think, the storm, and then if I've got any time left, I'll just carry on blowing some leaves in the wild area, just sort of further in, I suppose. So yeah, and then that will be the last visit here for the year, and then we'll go off to the building job and see what's going on there. Could be a number of things, so I've got just a load of tools and we'll see what happens. Okay, so all striped up now. I sort of can't really see it because I don't know where the sun is, but maybe it'll be clear on the other side. But yeah, all done, and that is it for the Time Master this year. So I'm going to take the Time Master up to the van, and there's a wash off point there, so I'm going to get it washed off, get the fuel out, etc, and then yeah, that's it. That's done for until a service in the new year, unless it breaks down between now and the van, obviously. So as you know, the plan is always to get the fuel out of the mower. Well, and here's the mower, and we're out of fuel. So for the sake of not having to get any fuel out, I am just going to push it up the hill. Okay, so job number 2. So we're at the extension house, and basically the lorries have knackered this. So all I'm doing at the moment is just pushing the stuff off the road for the moment, just trying to reduce the dirt and the slippiness, just to sort of keep the neighbours happy. Right, okay, road is clear, so now we are sucking out the flower beds, ready to dealt with tomorrow by somebody else. Got a little pump here. Morning, so it's Friday. It's the last working day of the year. Well, that was the plan. Monday is always the standby day, and I won't find out to the weekend whether we're actually going to be working, doing the versi draining on the Monday or not. So for the usual sort of lawn care, mowing, etc., this is the last day. Doesn't look like rain. The only issue we've got is a bit of frost, which I can't see kicking around for too long, but certainly it will interfere with like the first job of the three, if that makes sense. So here we are. So there's a few sort of leaves kicking around on the grass, nothing too major, but obviously you can see it's pretty frosty, but generally pretty tidy. You can see over here again, not too many leaves kicking around, but there's a bit of frost, so what we'll look to do is get the leaves out of the driveway and then round the back too. Moon's out still. I've seen the back when it's been really leafy. Obviously all the leaves are pretty much down, and yeah, and there's a frost out, so I'm not sure that frost is going to clear, but there's plenty of leaves in and around the beds that I just kind of focus on the leaves on the lawn, and then sort of over the winter then look to get the kind of the rest of the loose stuff out, which kind of just blows out anyway. I'm not too fussed about the leaves which are deep in there, undergrowth, because they break down and it's great, you know, or natural mulch and all that type of thing. But the stuff that's going to blow out onto the lawn, that's the stuff that I'm more sort of concerned about. The second lawn frost is gone now, so I've just got this striped up. Just show you the other side quickly. Okay, and here's the other side. So yeah, looking pretty good. Actually, let me stand up. It's a bit better. Back all striped up. So yeah, be back in January to basically do all the hedges from that post there, all the way down, all the way around, and all the way back to about there. Whew. So those hedges didn't get done last year, so there's twice as much to take off. So down the back is really busy with just stuff which needs to be burnt, etc. Because if you remember, the house was on the market, so I think the clients were like, "Oh, what's the point in paying for it if we're moving?" Literally during that time. So yeah, never got done. So right, popping next door now to do the final cut job of the year. Okay, so as many of my final cuts of the year end up at this property, so once again it is done, over. Of course there is this bloody verti draining that should happen at some point, but as far as all the residential side of things, it is done. You may hear the mower in the background. It's nearly out of fuel, so just like leave it to Okay, so there we go. Van is emptied out. It's actually not been too bad because it's been quite dry recently. Everything's dry inside. That's I think the first time we've ever got to this stage of the year and it's not been like a rainforest. And I do put that down to the partly the grill there, but also I've been able to have the doors open, etc, etc. As soon as I finished at the last property, it did start to rain. It's been raining the whole way home. So I do need to, I keep banging on about it, getting the fuel out of certainly the blower. No, I think the blower's out of fuel. I think it is literally just the hater mower now, which I need to get fuel out of. So anyways, that's it. As I say, rather than this week in lawn care, it's the final week in lawn care. I just want to thank everybody who's watched over nearly the course of the year. I really appreciate it. As I say, I'm not sure what I'm going to do next season, whether I'm going to carry on with this format. I know that some people actually want to see some work being done and not just me going, yep, here's a lawn, now it's cut. So anyways, as I say, thank you very much for the support through the year. I hope you all have a great Christmas. Definitely see you in the new year.